Morning. Good morning. Wow, this has been quite the amazing last 24, 36, 60 hours. Some of us have been here since Monday morning. So, and this has been such an amazing experience. These retreats really remind me how incredible of a group of artists we have at Creative Capital here. So I'm Hasan Elahi. I'm a 2006 grantee. Thank you. So, and I'm also one of the artists awardees who are also board member here. So, so in 2006, prior to that, my career was kind of obscure. I was kind of doing these bits and pieces here and there. And then shortly before that, I got reported as a terrorist because I'm a brown guy, Muslim, and all that. So I started doing this project where I started tracking myself to help the FBI monitor me. Because if you see something, say something, and so I started with trying to get people to fund this and try to help me do this, and people, I don't know about this project, it's like we're kind of uncomfortable about this, and this is like right after 9/11, and then Creative Capital came in. I applied, I got this, and all of a sudden, everybody lined up after this. So this is the kind of transformative experience. I mean, my life has changed completely. One of the things, as my fellow artist awardee board member Annie Han yesterday said, you're in it for the long haul. And this is to my fellow awardees. Once you're part of the community, you're always part of the community. And just as an example, so in a lot of ways, I owe my entire career to Creative Capital and for what's gone through. And in this very type of situation at the retreat has been like magical. It's been absolutely magical over the years. So, I was an awardee in 2006, then in 2007 and 8 and 10, I did these panels and presentations with Ruby and with Creative Capital, spreading the gospel of Creative Capital. I was a panelist in 2013, so got to see it from that side of things. Then started teaching professional development workshops in 2014, doing an artist coaching, right after that in the 15, and then in 2016 I was a cohort leader, which, by the way, there are some amazing former awardees from previous cohorts who are now a cohort. So some of you folks that are visiting us, some consultants, we operate a little differently here. And one of the things is that when our artists get this award, they're assigned a cohort leader. So it's a smaller group of 6 to 8 artists, and these cohort leaders are former awardees who kind of work as a coach and coach. So really, and it's an immense amount of work. So thank you to the cohort leaders, this group. So Nick, Julia, yes, yeah, these folks have been, these folks have been here like not only since Monday, but it's a long process since the orientation, even before the orientation. So yes, Julia, Nick, Christopher, Paul, Tia, J-Rim, Kenny, Ella, Richard, thank you so much for your work. Again, this is this culture of generosity and giving back. This is what we're about here. So, so getting to see all these sides of this as a board member, as a cohort leader, as a panelist, this is a little different, and as Paul Rucker said yesterday, unlike other arts organizations, many of our artists, we get funded by other people, and we know this thing, and it's like, here's the check, write us a report at the end of it, and then you just disappear. The level of touch, the level of contact that we have with Creative Capital and our artists, it's amazing. That's really that's the main difference. Some of my absolute closest friends I've met since my very first retreat in 2006. Cheryl Loring and I met on the bus coming up from New York City, going up to Colgate while the heater was cranked up in the back of the bus and the windows wouldn't open. Yes, and Leslie will confirm that was the worst bus ride ever. Yes, but you know what? That was one of the most amazing moments because I met Allison Weiss there, I met Cheryl. And Cheryl, who's out there typing, by the way, she's become one of my closest friends and one of my closest advisors to my own work over these years. So this is like a 13-year-long process. I remember at that very first retreat, sitting down with Jeffrey Gibson and, discussing with him, hey, how do I maintain a sustainable art career? How do I actually keep this up? Of course, and then, we're a little different in the fact that we actually talk about money in the open. as opposed to other organizations. Well, no, we don't really talk about that kind of thing. So thinking about, and yeah, of course, Colleen Keegan. I mean, amazing. I mean, learned so much from Colleen. But you know what? Thank you, Colleen. And also, really, believe it or not, I actually learned a lot about money from Dred Scott, my fellow, communist and troublemaker. I mean, so this is, we're different. We're different. So, we like to subvert things. We like to go around. We like to not necessarily do the traditional thing. So I really want to get back to this point, is subversion. And subversion is a very prominent theme in many of our artist awards. You'll see this. I mean, you've seen all of these. And I know, I'm probably here talking to you about this because of my life and because of my career, but it's also a really great metaphor for the way creative capital operates and the way creative capital was founded. We're founded as a response to this rigid authority, really that era of the bad old days of Jesse Helms, of that conservative uprising. And this, it really, there was this undermining of the creative process of that time, and this idea that, hey, we're going to change this whole thing around. And it's really been a lifeline, this type of way of working, of subverting the system, or of changing the system. This is really what pushes us and really makes our work meaningful. I mean, this is what challenges the status quo. We are totally different than everyone else. So, this is what I'm really proud of. This is what I'm really proud of, to be here. And I'm really happy to share this with you. So please welcome our next group of award presentations, and thank you very much.